12 years compared to not so happy people. So the happiness is not simply something to feel good about it. I mean, it is still good, but it actually leads to this tangible outcome which matters in life. And I remember reading some of the commentary. People think that happy people are stupid and naive. That's why they are they smile all the time and happy. But what this research is showing tell us is opposite. Happy people are smart and they are not naive. They know actually what's the issue, but they know how to deal with it.
I know that you're all familiar with positive psychology, so this is just setting the stage for our talk. We are not inspirational speakers. We want to be inspiring, but we're psychologists. We believe in the research. We believe in the data. The data talk loudly. We will talk about the data. This is a wonderful book written by my twin brother. I actually do have a twin. It's not Nansook, but at any rate, you don't have to buy the book. I'd appreciate it, but you don't have to. I can give you a summary of the book. There are things that we know based on the research that we didn't know 10 or 15 years ago. That this is just a list of the things that we know, but we can also boil it down to two things. These are the take-home messages, and this organizes our talk. Message number one: other people matter. There's not a single finding in positive psychology that does not come back to the important role of other people. That's even true here in the U.S., the bastion of rugged individualism. Other people matter. No one does it alone. And the other take-home message, and again, this is why you're here, the good life can be taught. It's not that you won the genetic roulette wheel and then good things happen. No, you can do things. It's hard work, but you can do things. Little psychotherapy humor here. Guy on the couch talking to the analyst. I'm competitive, I'm cruel, I'm glad when my friends fail. I'm so envious when they succeed that I wish them nothing but evil. Other than that, I have no idea why I'm here. Okay, it's funny, but it's also, positive psychology can give an answer to this guy. We can explain why he's here, and more to the point, we can get him out of therapy. This is the value of positive psychology. Indeed, there is a vision of the good life. I think it's consensual. I think it's not culture bound. It's not arbitrary. A pleasant life is one in which people experience good things. They have pleasures. They have positive emotions. They've learned how to savor. It's a life in which they're engaged. They're involved, whether in school or work or hobbies. It's a life that's competent. And they get to do what they do best every day. This is the whole tie-in with character and strengths and talents. They have a deeply social life. I've learned to say deeply social as opposed to social, because my undergraduate students, social life is what you do in the bar. And that's not what I mean. Bars are fine, but I'm really talking about deeply social, reciprocal relationships with other people that matter. Showing that you care, and then in turn being able to accept that from someone else. And then finally having a meaningful life. And just quoting Gandhi here, be the change you want to see in the world. This is the vision. And I dare anybody to tell me this is culture bound. I want to hear about the culture that doesn't value these things, because I'll tell you, it's an extinct culture.
There are many topics positive psychologists are interested in, but these are the four main topics. Especially, we are interested in positive experience, such as happiness and flow, and savoring, and positive trait, talent and character strengths, and positive relationship, good relationship with your friends and family and colleagues, and a positive institution, school, just like here, and positive institution and family and workplace, and in fact the larger society that enable its members to experience more positive experience and nurture and build good character and facilitate working relationships. We study character and virtues, and we care about this topic dearly. So we might be more, probably somewhat biased, but we think that character is the center of the four pillars. And in fact, if you think about it, positive experience the flow and happiness, it can come and go, but not the good character. It lasts a long time, and you cannot have positive relationship without its members who have a good character. What about positive institution? You cannot have positive institution without having its members who have a good character. So character is the center of these all pillars.
For the last 8 years, we've been involved in a project called the Values in Action Project, or the VIA project, that's interested in character strengths and how to measure them. The project started when a question was posed to us by the Mayerson Foundation, which supported the work in the beginning. How can we build a better child? And that led to another question, perhaps a more basic question: what is the good of a person? And we set the task for ourselves to come up with a vocabulary for describing the good of a person, not just good, bad, or indifferent, or good, bad, and ugly, rather a more nuanced and way of describing what goes right in somebody's life. We also wanted to come up with assessment strategies, which we have done. And for the last, 7 or 8 years, it doesn't seem that long, does it? The flight down here yesterday seemed that long, but the rest of it doesn't seem that long. We've been doing a lot of research, and we're starting to do applications. Early on in the project, a popular writer described what we were doing and used a phrase that we love. He contrasted the VIA project with the Diagnostic and Statistical Manual, the DSM. The 325 ways to be crazy. And he said this project is it's the un-DSM. It's a manual of the sanities. So if any of you are old enough to remember Paul Simon, remember the song 50 Ways to Leave Your Lover? So DSM is 325 ways to have your lover leave you. But the VIA project is 25 ways to keep your lover and your friends and your students. These are not the same roles. That's ethics, everybody. But it's how to keep people close to you. We sometimes get philosophical about our project, and we think if there is a lasting value of it, it's that it has helped to legitimize talking about what goes right in life. We didn't invent any of the words, any of the character strengths we use, but we've introduced them to scientific psychology, and we're very proud when we hear people use them.
In fact, actually, last night I went through the program of this institute this year. I saw actually the word, the strengths and character and virtues pretty much every page. So we are very encouraged by that.
Yeah, it's a different world than it was 10 years ago. It's really a different world.
Okay, a character can mean many different things to many different people and many different disciplines. But in our study, this is how we define character. Character is a personality morally evaluated. Sometimes people ask us how character is different from personality. Personality is actually a general concept. What I mean by is that there's no really value judgment. One aspect of personality is introverted and extroverted. There's no value judgment saying that introverted is bad or extroverted is good. It's just aspect of personality. However, every aspect of character, they are morally valued and we consider as good. So the character is actually a personality morally evaluated. We approach the character as a multidimensional, plural, not the singular. Sometimes we often use the word he has a good character, he has a bad character, and that's actually sometimes interesting and informative, but it doesn't really carry the whole picture of the person. Some people might have actually good in certain aspect of character, but not the other aspect of character. So we think it's more effective to approach the character as a plural. And the character is not just abstract. It's something you can observe, which means you can measure. And in fact, if you can think of someone, you